Benelli M4, a Marine's best friend and debatably the best semi-auto shotgun ever made. When you think about getting yourself a shotgun, a Benelli M4 is probably at the top of that list, and for good reason. There's just one issue. These things are like $2,500 for the import approved bullshit, and then you gotta spend another $1,500 to $2,000 to make them look like they should have in the first place. But understanding the popularity of the platform, there has been many different companies trying to make a clone of the Benelli M4, but unfortunately, most of those attempts have been garbage so far, until now. This one right here is a Benelli M4 clone made by Panzer. This one is the Benelli M4 clone made by Orthos. So today I'm gonna run these clones against the original Benelli M4 and see if it's still worth it to spend the money on the Benelli, or if you can get a decent working clone for a fifth of the price. We're gonna find out right after we thank today's sponsor. I've been playing this addictive game for over a year now. I really enjoy beating everybody in the player versus player battles. And the tactical upgrade system is what keeps me coming back for more. Raid Shadow Legends. Right now you can actually unlock Ninja. It's a character that I've been waiting over 3 years to get. Download Raid using the link down in the description below, or use this QR code right here. And don't forget to use promo code Ninja Returns to get the Champion Ninja. If you're like me and you've been playing this game for a while, you're going to be able to get the free Ninja Pack in the game shop by logging in 5 days before August 15th. Help support my channel by going to the link down in the description below or using this QR code right now to download Raid Shadow Legends today. And you're going to immediately unlock the Epic Champion Annex from the Undead Hortus faction. After level 15, you will also receive the Epic Champion Fane, who is the best for fighting unkillable clan boss teams. You find me in the game as Raid Pewview, or you can join my clan, Pew. Go download Raid Shadow Legends today. Let's get back to it. Typically, when you think about a shotgun, you think about Grandpa's wooden stock, long-barreled gun he uses for clay pigeons and small game. That is not what these are for. These are more of a combat-style shotgun. You know, the kind that Germany tried to make a war crime to use? Let me show you why. Now, that obviously does not mean that you can't use these for clay pigeon shooting, but let me show you the problem when it comes to Benelli and clay pigeons. As you can see from the end of this barrel, it does not accept a choke, which could be a problem when it comes to sports shooting clays. You need a tighter group, and without a choke, that's kind of hard to accomplish. With these two clones, you get that. You get chokes of whatever the hell you want. This is more of a tactical, cool-looking breech choke, and then this just has a full choke in it. Which to me really isn't an issue, because like I said, this is more of a combat style shotgun. You don't really need a choke, and running a full choke with a slug is not ideal. But as you can see right here, the thickness of the Benelli barrel is insane when you compare it to something like the Orthos or the Panzer here. It's a little bit thinner of a barrel, and the reason behind that is kind of hilarious. Like I stated, this is more of a combat style shotguns, meaning military, police, SWAT, them guys are going to be using that, and typically what they're used for is breaching doors. So when you come up to breach a door, you jam your shotgun barrel in it, and the early variations of the Benelli had thinner barrels, so that being an issue, when you come up to slam it against the door, you were bending the tips of your barrel. So Benelli thought they would just double the thickness of the barrel, which is kind of genius. Again, what the shotgun was designed to do, that's probably a better option than these two. Now, that does add quite a bit of weight. I've never shot any of these. Them two first shots out of the Benelli were the first time that this has ever been fired. These two are still unfired, so we're really going to give you right out of the box, see how they perform, test the recoil, test the accuracy, test, you know, how fast they are, how good the triggers are, and most importantly, how reliable are they? Because if you're buying a Benelli M4, you probably did that because you know it's one of the most reliable shotguns ever made. So if these even come anywhere close to being as reliable, I'm going to be really impressed. So let's go ahead and find out. All right, test number one. The absolute killer of any semi-auto shotgun is Winchester White Box. So we're going to load these all up fully and see if it'll run Winchester White Box. Starting with the Benelli M4. Flawless, felt good. All right, Turkish clones do not have the best reputation, so I'll see how the Panzer M4 does. Good to go. All right, Orthos Raider S4. Now these are a Turkish receiver, Turkish bolt, and a Turkish barrel. Everything is assembled here. All quality control is here, and all the rest of the other parts are here. So kind of a Turkish clone, kind of not. Trigger is much better, ran it flawlessly, and the recoil felt cut in half. This is a ported barrel, and obviously it's got that cool brake on it and a springy little butt pad here, so expected. All right, that was Winchester White Box, and again, kind of expected. Usually when you have a semi-auto shotgun, this is what you're gonna have issues with. So we're gonna do the same test, but with the Remington 8-shot. and pick up around. All right, like I said, I pulled these all straight out of the box. Like, this is the Fat Electrician's gun. He has had this for a while, but he has never shot it, which means he has never cleaned or lubed it. So out of the box, out of the box, out of the box. I haven't lubed any of them. None of them have been broke in. So this is just, you guys are seeing the entire process here. So initial thoughts. I mean, obviously this just kind of feels like a Benelli M4. Crazy, but this thing feels like a softer, lighter shooting version of the M4, and this thing, it felt almost similar to the original M4s as far as recoil control and trigger pull. This one also has a ported barrel. It's got chokes. It's got the cuts right here for speed loading. It's got some decent features, and it's only $700. So if we can get this thing to break in and run reliably, it'll make me pretty damn happy. I like cheap guns that run. All right, test number 2. We got some buckshot. We got some slugs. We're going to see how they feel when it comes to recoil, because obviously shooting a 1-ounce slug doesn't feel very great. We're going to see which one of these 3 can handle it the best. All right, we're just going to do 3 1-ounce slugs out of the Benelli M4 first. The S4. It hits me in the face equally as hard, but that porting on the barrel really keeps the muzzle down. I felt like the recoil was going towards the ground instead of up. 3 slugs out of the Panzer M4. This is the only one of the 3 that didn't punch me in the face while shooting slugs, so that's a plus. So as far as slugs go, the Raider S4 is taking it just because it was the most comfortable to shoot, but that's the only one that didn't punch me in the face. This just felt like a normal shotgun. Test number 3. It doesn't necessarily tell you which one is the better gun, but I want to do buckshot, birdshot, and slugs all within a water jug to show you the difference between the 3 rounds using the 3 different guns. Again, doesn't really tell you much about the guns, but we need some entertainment. Now this is kind of like home defense range. So this is kind of a comparison of what ammo you should be using in your house. This is what it does to a water jug at 10 yards. Birdshot. Not much of anything. I mean, I wouldn't want to get shot by it, but a little underwhelming. But this is a slug. Kind of hard to hit somebody in the middle of the night when you're half asleep with a slug, but in case you're that guy, holy shit. And this is buckshot, typically what you would use for home defense. This is your birdshot spread here, just kind of peppered the entire thing. Here is buckshot. You got a bunch of like 38 caliber holes in your body, probably not very ideal. This is a slug, you know, just you no longer have a body. All right, to touch a little bit more on the topic of what ammunition you should be using for home defense, we got a Ballistic Dummy Lab torso here. If you want to see what the hell happened to this thing, stay tuned for the video posted up on Ballistic High Speed's channel. So he's already hurting a little bit, but just for comparison, we're gonna go birdshot right here on this shoulder, then we'll do buckshot, and then we'll just do a slug right in the middle, and maybe grand finale with the still intact head for now. This is 8-shot birdshot. This thing is just absolutely peppered with 8-shot BBs, which would not feel great. That spread just kind of hit everywhere. Like there's BBs all the way down here. You can see it hitting its rib. It did crack a rib, but it didn't go through the rib. There's BBs here. That spread is massive. I'm surprised none, yeah, some did get in the neck. And I was aiming right here. So your spread is insanely wide.
Even out of a full choke.
All right, we got buckshot out of the Benelli M4. You can see much larger wound cavities. Like I said, these are 38 caliber balls, and there is a ton of them. You got fragments of lead everywhere, and that's from here to here. I said I was aiming about here. You can see the wad inside of its body. That's crazy. You see the wad right there? Excuse me, I just need my... Thanks. Look at that. All right, 1-ounce slug right in the center here. So that's not gonna really tell us a whole hell of a lot, because like I said, we did already shoot this thing. So I assume that slug went in there somewhere, and if you know anything about a 12 gauge slug, you can assume what happened back here. I'm no doctor, but I don't think you're making that one. Dude, there's a slug right there. Here's our slug. This thing has seen better days. It's kind of barely holding on right now. So we got the S4 loaded up with buckshot, and we're just gonna finish that thing off. That was excessive. What is this? Why you shouldn't break into people's houses, because there's a lot of 12 gauges in the US. I'm gonna rapidly shove an entire box of 8 shot through these things just to try to get them hot, see if they're gonna malfunction, see how they're gonna perform. Starting with the Orthos S4. Oh, I think I had hammer follow, because I don't have a trigger pull right now, but the round did go in the chamber. Yeah, I was just pulling the trigger a little too fast for it to handle, but we'll count that as a malfunction. Other than the hammer follow, it did pretty well. All right, Panzer. More hammer follow. Didn't pick up a round. Didn't pick up a round. Maybe that's because I'm not shouldering it, but. Didn't eject that. I feel like any shotgun should be able to be hip fired though, so that kind of sucks that it won't pick up a round from the hip. It needs the pressure from your shoulder to be able to cycle. But it's a shotgun. You want to hip fire it. All right, now we got the Benelli M4. I assume we're not going to have any trouble with this one. I lied. More hammer follow. Now by hammer follow, I just mean that I'm pulling the trigger a little bit too fast for that bolt to get back in the battery. It's kind of, the hammer is following the bolt. Not really the gun's fault. See if you can hip fire it. Conclusion. The Benelli is obviously probably a more reliable shotgun. I mean, it's tried and true. It's been around forever. There's reasons that our military and police use the Benelli M4. Even overseas militaries use the Benelli M4. It's a reliable shotgun. Now, when it comes to shootability, I'm going with the Orthos. It's a faster shooting gun. It's got a better trigger. It looks way cooler. The recoil is much softer. I am a big fan of the Raider S4. I do have another one of these that I got about 3,000 rounds through it, and they are pretty damn reliable. I mean, time will tell when you get up to past 5,000 rounds. Shotgun parts do break quite often. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that with the Benelli. I think longevity is obviously going to go in the hands of the Benelli. Reliability, longevity, going to the Benelli. Shootability and cool factor is going to the Orthos. The Panzer is almost there. I want to like it because I love the price point. I like the look. I like the feel. It's got a decent trigger, ported barrel, chokes. It's undercut for smoother speed loading. It's a nice shotgun, but unfortunately the reliability was not there. I had trouble with almost every ammo I put in that thing today. But again, we're going to see how it does over time. I'm going to break it in. I'll give it a break-in period. I'm going to send some rounds through it of all different shapes and sizes and see how it performs over time. So as far as these three go, I like the Orthos. The Orthos is it for me. Yeah, you can literally buy 2 Orthos for the price of one Benelli M4. You could probably buy 5 or 6 Panzers for the price of a Benelli M4. Let me know what you guys think. What one of these guns would you choose? Has anybody ever tried an Orthos? Has anybody ever tried a Panzer? There's got to be at least 2 people in these comment section that has a Benelli M4. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.